you need to realize three simple things. First, reality is nothing more than a delayed reflection of your thought form. Second, reality, like a mirror, reflects what you focus your attention on. Third, by focusing your attention on what you need, you receive it in reality. Fourth, focusing your attention on the desired film is accomplished in two ways. You mentally verbalize thought forms and visualize slides. Thought forms can also be accompanied by visualization. Unlike the common habit of shooting videos and photos on a cell phone, this is filming in reverse. We don't capture frames from existing reality, but project the intended frames into reality. We broadcast our reality. As a result, the virtual cinema flows into reality, and you watch as the frames created in your head come to life. This is what's called making your own movie. Literally, if you're not very good at visualization, that's okay. Thought forms will still work. However, you should at least understand what you're saying and not do it mechanically, mindlessly. Thought forms should be broadcast consciously and, preferably, with feeling, enthusiasm, and inspiration. After all, you're broadcasting your own movie, and you know it will be filmed in reality. So this alone should inspire you. You can say it out loud when no one is around, of course. Or silently. It doesn't really matter. Return again and again to your target thought forms. Walk around like a living radio station and broadcast your programs. Don't be afraid of turning into a robot. You are much more of an automaton when you operate in a mode of passive reception and interaction with external information. A transmitter. This, after all, is several steps higher in organization than a receiver. Moreover, as you understand, mere declarations and statements are not enough. You also need to take real steps, not just engage in metaphysics. You truly are capable of creating any world for yourself. But no one said you could do this lying on the couch. You can be sure of that. All this works very powerfully. You will see for yourself. The main thing is to develop the habit of waking up more often and transmitting your thought forms. Play your own movie. Systematically and relentlessly. Not like a wind-up music box, of course, but consciously, with feeling and conviction. Less is more. That's the whole point, to avoid becoming like a monk who reads his prayers in a senseless frenzy. You are a conscious transmitter. There are only a few people like this on the planet. Those who know how to intentionally spin their own films. If you do this consciously, you'll be amazed at how powerful it is. As you can see, it's both simple and incomprehensible. But if you do begin to clearly understand the real state of affairs, you have a chance to transform from a receiver into a transmitter. To do this, you need to develop a habit. Remember, wake up, shift your point of attention. If you learn to control your attention, you will, in fact, learn to truly control your reality. Both external events and internal experiences can distract your attention. Most often, a lapse into the mirror occurs when your attention is captured by some external event, usually an unpleasant one. If the event is pleasant, there's no need to reject it. Let it run, let the film roll. But if it's unpleasant, you mustn't allow the film to enter your projector and start playing. Here's a sample list of external events that provoke a capture of attention. Something surprises, alarms, disturbs, irritates, provokes indignation, frightens, oppresses, and plunges you into despondency. Don't conform with expectations. Something oppressive may also be happening on the internal screen. Unpleasant memories, dark thoughts, and premonitions torment you. At the moment of capture, a lapse into an external or internal movie occurs, as in an unconscious dream, where a person forgets themselves and begins to passively follow the script that has captured their images. Watching a kind of dream in which they, a subservient, helpless character. For example, you failed an interview. A movie immediately appears in your head. Finding a good job is difficult. As a result, the next interview goes even worse. It already starts spinning in your head. Finding a good job is very difficult. After the third unsuccessful attempt, the movie turns into a nightmare. Finding a good job is impossible. I'm of no use to anyone. This is how I slip into an external scenario. What can I do about it? You need to develop an atypical response. At the moment your attention is captured, don't fall asleep, but rather, wake up. You need to set a goal. Always remember that any negative event is a signal for you. As soon as something like this happens, a warning light comes on in your head. Stop. What should I do? At this moment, it would be helpful to perform some awakening action, which will become a psychological trigger for you. For example, snapping your fingers. So, something unpleasant happened. You snapped your fingers, woke up. What next? In an instant, you determine where your point of attention is, and return it. Bring it to the center of self-awareness. Here I am, and here's the mirror. I see myself and I see reality. You can run through a stabilizing thought form. I am sane, I am aware of myself. I understand what is happening and what I am doing. This doesn't stop me from thinking. I am in my thoughts, but I am not absorbed in them. I see myself. Moreover, this doesn't stop me from acting. I am in reality, but I am not absorbed in it. I see reality. I am not drawn into an inner or outer screen. I do not merge with it. I am present, but I feel my separateness. Subsequently, all of this should habitually sublimate into one short flash of awareness. As soon as the point of attention returns, begin to spin your movie. Is this my reality? No, it is not my reality. My reality is not like this. My reality is such and such. You observe what is happening from the outside. And no matter what happens, stubbornly spin your slide, your thought form. You do not control the scenario. This is impossible to do, and it is not necessary. You show your own movie, regardless of anyone else's external reality. You don't need to worry about how events will unfold. Your job is to convey the desired picture, the end result. When the target movie plays in your head, the course of events itself takes the necessary turn. Such a reaction is quite unusual for most people, isn't it? The receiver, as a rule, reacts without thinking. What's on the screen is what's in their head. They completely immerse themselves in the external movie. The transmitter, on the other hand, doesn't completely immerse themselves in the external screen, but rather switches to the mode of a detached, conscious observer, and begins to play their declarations, their own movie. This is the atypical reaction of the transmitter. This is the behavior and thinking that you need to accustom yourself to.